What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, we're doing another episode of the series Gold Farming by Zone, a YouTube series where I go through each of the zones in the entire game, eventually at least, and take a look at all the gold farms at your disposal in those zones. And in today's video, we have Twilight Highlands, a Cataclysm zone that's in Eastern Kingdom, since I'm focused on Eastern Kingdoms to begin with. And all of these videos is gathered in a playlist that you can watch. But before we take a look at Twilight Highlands, I do have to say a massive thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide. The 0 to 10 million gold guide is a digital guide you can open up on your computer, and it features the best tactics and methods that I personally use in order to achieve hundreds of millions of gold. Even better is the fact that it comes with a lifetime of free updates, meaning that whenever there's a new patch or even a brand new expansion to Retail WoW, I update the exact same gold guide with the new best methods, and I send that version to your email completely for free. So make sure to check that out with the link down below in the description, and by using the discount code STUDENT, you get it for 50% off. And that also counts for the brand new Mist of Pandaria Classic Gold Guide, as well as the Cataclysm Classic Gold Guide, all linked down below in the description. So, Twilight Highlands, and I said this in my previous video as well in the series, eventually you're going to get to these zones that's really limited in terms of gold farms, but I still feel like I should, at some point feature all the zones regardless, because there's always some ways to make gold, and there might be a zone that you just neglected. You were like, okay, that's a bad zone, there's nothing in that zone, but there might be a farm or two. Well, Twilight Highlands is kind of similar. I mean, every single gold farm that you do in Twilight Highlands is just steady gold. A lot of people like steady gold, though, by all means, but we're going to go through them. So the first one is right here at Obsidian Forest, where you're basically just killing all of these obsidian mobs, these dragonkin mobs, and you're doing that because you want to be able to skin the mobs, and you skin them to get the blackened dragon scale, which is needed for a bunch of leatherworking patterns. However, the material is usually sitting at like roughly 8 gold each. You are going to get savage leather as well when you skin these guys. You're going to get dragon flanks, but it's nothing that's really worth a ton of gold. It's basically just a blackened dragon scale farm. However, though, that being said, like every now and then, when there's not a lot of people running raids and skinning in the open world, etc., typically with a new expansion launch, like these materials are still in demand, but there's like nobody farming them, so they tend to go sky high up. So every now and then, it's actually a pretty legit farm, but for the most of the time, it's pretty low in gold per hour, but I still feel like I should mention it. Now, this location right here on the Twilight Shore is what we call the Ember Silk Beach, just because all of these guys right here, they hyper spawn like absolute crazy. They're all humanoid mobs, so that means they all drop Ember Silk Cloth, and if you pair that up with using Potion of Treasure Finding, which you should do for every farm in Cata zones, you're getting a ton of Ember Silk Cloth. It is the highest yielding Ember Silk Cloth farm in the game. As I'm recording this video, though, we're still dealing with the world drop bug, where the mobs are they pretty much stop dropping loot after like 2 minutes. So right now, dungeons are still going to be the best, but I'm guessing that Blizzard will fix this in the near future. Hoping so, at least. So it's a farm where we actually made as much as like 70,000 gold an hour when Blizzard decided to remove first aid as a profession, and everyone had to get the first aid achievements, and we farmed Ember Silk on this beach. Really, really good location. Now, the next one is a classic. It's like one of, if not the most farmed open world steady farm that I've done ever, and it's right here in the river, killing these water elementals to get volatile water. I mean, before the regional auction house, it was common that you would average like 60 to 70,000 gold an hour, and you had to do it every single day if you didn't want to run out. That's how fast they sold. But regional auction house has changed that, And it's hard to say. It depends on the price on the volatile water. But in the good group, you get like 1,200 volatile water, plus all the other volatiles and ore and everything else that you get from the tiny treasure chest. So it's still a legit farm a lot of the months throughout the year. So definitely something to check out as long as you're in a group. As I said, 1200 volatile water is possible in a good group. And then you have these guys right here killing the obsidian stone slave mobs. This is a farm that isn't done a lot now these days, ever since the regional auction house, because these guys are dropping volatile earth, but you also get volatile earth when you do mining. So it tends to be a lower valued element or volatile compared to something like fire and water, even though you get those from mining as well. But this is like the best location if you want farm specifically for like volatile earth. This is like the go-to location for that right here on this little base. They also hyper spawn like absolute crazy, so it is a legit farm, but that one is rarely a good gold per hour farm compared to something like volatile water, which tends to have a much higher price. You have a similar location right over at this camp right here, killing the storm vortex mobs, where you get claw from the humanoid mobs, but these storm vortex mobs drops volatile air. It's a much more legit farm than the element or volatile earth. However, though, due to the fact that you can solo farm volatile air easily in the dungeon over in Kalimdor at Uldum, at the Vortex Pinnacle, a lot of people prefer to do the solo way of farming the material rather than finding a group and doing something like this. So it's not a farm that you see getting done often, but volatile air often spikes up in price like crazy, and then it's a really, really good location. Now, the next one is also in the volatile family. As I said, it's the zone for steady gold farms, and that's right here up on this fiery area, and we're naturally going to be getting volatile fire off these guys. And you do get roughly the same amount of volatile fire as you do volatile water, so you typically just want to look at the prices, like what is priced higher, volatile fire or volatile water. However, though, that being said, this is a much easier location to acquire a high amount of volatiles. Like on volatile water farm down by the river, it's very important that nobody is slacking and everyone has a speed set if you want to get a good gold per hour. On this location is better density. They spawn in a smaller area. There's not as much distance between the mobs, so it's just easier to do the farm with people that haven't really done a lot of gold farms before, or haven't done this farm before. You can just walk right into it. You run in a circle instead of a pattern, and it's a much easier gold farm to do. But that's pretty much it from the gold farms that I am doing in Twilight Highlands. It is worth mentioning that, yes, of course, you can do herbalism and mining as well in this zone, and a lot of people are choosing something like Twilight Highlands over Uldum when they want to mine for Elementium and Purite, but it's very rare that the gold per hour is worth doing Cataclysm mining for, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are getting the mining materials, the ore, from the tiny treasure chest, so you don't need to do mining in order to get the materials, and there's a lot more people doing farms with the Potion of Treasure Finding than there is people doing herbalism and mining due to the prices. It's just, you can't justify it. You can do TBC mining and make more gold per hour than you can do in Cataclysm mining. So with that being said, that was it for Twilight Highlands. Now, I will eventually get through every single zone, so if you want to watch that, just make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. That way you'll be notified whenever the next video drops. And if you already have the gold guide for the version of the game that you're playing and you're happy with it, you're definitely going to be happy on the VIP Discord as well. Once you join in, you'll be able to see all of these YouTube videos before they go public on YouTube, giving you a slight advantage. But you also get exclusive content in terms of gold tips. There's multiple spreadsheets to help you with gold making. You can also get access to my investments for stuff such as player housing, upcoming patches, upcoming expansions, and more importantly, you're together with like-minded people that are really good at gold making and people that are brand new and want to learn. And together, we do a lot of testing. Like, we play play on the alphas, we play on the betas, trying to find like the new best thing, trying to find the next investment, and so on for the upcoming patches and expansions. So if you want to support me and join the VIP Discord, that's also linked down below in the description. I appreciate your support and I appreciate you watching my videos, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye bye.